Hello everybody, and today I am going to talk about Formula 1. And the topic I have today is Formula 1 engines. And basically for this series I'm going to go through everything you need to know about F1 engines, all the way how they work, what they need to do, and some fun facts as well. F1 cars are way advanced than the cars that you see on the roads today in terms of fuel efficiency, while still squeezing around 1,000 horsepower from the 1.6 liter V6. And let's not forget that through the history, F1 has gone through the V12s to the V8s and of course to the V6 hybrid turbo power, whatever it is. And people would say that the V12s and the V8s are the most amazing engines in terms of sound. And before I carry on with the video, I will also drop you some historical facts about the engines that have been in Formula 1. The British team BRM were responsible for two of the strangest engines in F1 history: a 1.5 liter supercharged V16 and a 3 liter H16, which is essentially like two V8 blocks, and they were flattened and joined. Neither were very successful, but they made a great noise that people would enjoy. The main engine component is the turbocharger, which expels heat, and the energy can be recovered and stored, and it can be deployed as well. And it either provides an instant power kick or to eliminate a turbo lag. And also, one of the main disadvantages of the turbocharging is that it works by an exhaust gas to drive a pump, and it compresses the air that goes into the engine. So when the turbo spins, there's a natural delay between the pressing of the accelerator and getting the power boost. The hybrid system uses the recovered energy heat to keep the turbo spinning, and it's basically a cycle. So the boost is always ready at any time when the driver needs it. Fueling is a massive factor in a Formula 1 weekend. So teams spend their time in researching the fuel loads and when to apply that fuel, because that also affects degradation. So F1 rules enforce a strict limit on the amount of fuel carried by cars, which is 105 kilograms, and how fast it can flow, which is 100 kilograms per hour. And since 2010, there's no refueling because it's very dangerous. And incidents have been documented as to why refueling is very dangerous. For example, Jos Verstappen, he had a massive incident. And also in the Singapore Grand Prix, Felipe Massa left his pit box with the refueling gauge. And as I mentioned before, F1 engines have changed throughout the years, and since the beginning of the championship in 1950, they started with a 1.5 liter supercharged or a 4.5, which is naturally an engine with any cylinder that was allowed basically. The manufacturing of engines are very expensive, so F1 teams really have to spend their time in researching and developing these engines. And the thing is, F1 teams basically they can't manufacture a lot of engines. They're actually limited. And let's take the 2017 season for example. Drivers are only allowed to use 4 complete power units for that season. Let's take into account that during the practice sessions they are allowed to move around practice engines or like old used engines used from the previous Grand Prix. Once they go over that limit, they will get penalized for the next session. For example, a grid drop. This basically gives the manufacturers a major incentive to focus on reliability as well as power and economy. In the 2018 season, F1 wanted more reliability for the engines. So in order to do that, more rules were changed. Instead of 4, now teams were only allowed to use 3, and that basically reduces the costs. Okay guys, and I've basically said everything you need to know. So I will leave you guys with the fun fact for this video. The fun fact is that the fastest revving F1 engine in history was the Cosworth CA 2006. This Cosworth engine consisted of a 2.4 liter V8 that exceeded 20,000 RPMs. F1 cars as of 2020 do not reach those RPMs. Since the 2014 regulation change, the RPMs have been capped till 15,000 RPMs. Alright, and that's everything I have for you guys today. The next video I'm thinking about doing is the chassis of the F1 car, so stay tuned in for that.